Welcome to the 2020 Genesis G90. Today we're in the ultimate 5-liter V8 rear-wheel drive. We've done quite a few reviews on G90s in the past, and honestly they haven't changed a whole lot, though this 2020 does have some styling updates. I've always been a big fan of these G90s. They drive great, they're easy to use, and the last few weeks when I've been in Mercedes, BMW, the Alpina B7, the Mercedes GLS 580, I couldn't help but thinking that I was going to kill myself running into something while I was distracted with the infotainment and all the buttons and features and knobs. And I don't feel that with this G90. I feel like everything in here is usable, falls to hand easily. The design and the layout is great. And granted, this is a lot less expensive than some of the offerings in the luxury space. There are fewer features here, but everything that you get for your 76 grand is standard, and as a result, it's a very nice overall luxury experience. There is a lot to go over in this car, so we'll start talking about it. First though, let's take a look on the outside. We'll walk you around the inside, outside, and then go for a drive. You can faintly hear that V8 burbling away. Makes 420 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. Look at that grille. I'm a little bit split on the styling of this. When I first saw the press release photos of this G90, I didn't really understand what this new grille design language is doing, why it's so big, why everyone's doing this now. In person, it's a lot better. It actually has a lot of road presence, which is pretty cool. And I will say I am a huge fan of these wheels. Genesis is starting to branch out and do some really unique things to its brand from a design perspective. For a while, everyone used to harp on Hyundai and Genesis for copying. I see some styling elements here from other brands. I see a little bit of Toyota Century, not sold in the US. Maybe some of the Lincoln Continental. But ultimately, this is a pretty unique design and a pretty strong face and look from Genesis. And I like the way that this is going. It really looks like a luxury vehicle. People don't really know what this is when they look at it. Some people were commenting this week, was that a Bentley? Is that a Rolls Royce? It definitely has a lot of road presence and attracts a lot of attention. The back seat has always been an entertaining place ever since the Hyundai Equus that we had a long time ago. You have all these seat controls. You can control the front seat from the back, which is very nice. If you want just a little bit more leg room, you can get that. You have heated and cooled seats back here. You can go in, control the infotainment. So you have full rear seat infotainment control. You can power on the left and right screens with these buttons. You can go in, even set a route with a navigation. These are not touchscreens like they are up front, but pretty cool that you can control all of this from the back seat. And it's very easy to use, just 3 simple buttons: menu, home, back, and of course the scroll wheel with a clicker. A little bit of storage. It's all very luxurious, fantastic materials. You guys can see the POV set up there. You get window shades, 2 seat memory options. The leather, this exposed wood grain is really quite nice to the touch. And of course, there's more legroom than you could ever need. Pretty sizable trunk here as well. This is still a pretty massive car on the road, and visually I think some of these design changes make it seem even more impressive. Let's pop the hood and look under at that 5-liter V8. Genesis has even gone to lengths to make this V8 look special and interesting. I appreciate that. Look at that. We've got some red intake rings there, chassis bracing, an attractive plastic engine cover. And all throughout you see this diamond-like shape. Still not a big fan of the integration of the radar into the grille, but people do the best they can with these days. So I've said it before in many of my videos, but I really do love the infotainment in this G90. Finally, we have Apple CarPlay integration, and look at this. It's a massive full screen. You didn't even get this in the GLS we had last week. I love how big and how it fills the full screen of this car. It's great. It's super easy to use. You can use it as a touchscreen. The scroll wheel is super responsive, easy to navigate. I love it. It's perfect. This is all you need. You have an electronic shifter, 360 cam, the resolution, the dynamic range on this camera and everything looks really nice. You can switch modes very easily. The mirrors even dip down to show you your how close you are to a curb. This G90 does just waft right along. Has a really pleasant character. It's very smooth, very silent. Reminds me a little bit of a Lexus V8. The transmission tuning from this 8-speed is just what you want. It holds gears perfectly, lets the engine ride out that torque band. If you want to hustle it, it does all right there too. There's even a sport mode. You'll feel the seat bolsters hug you just a little bit more. The paddle shifters are pretty responsive, though they do feel a little bit cheap and plasticky. The handling here is actually quite good. You get a nice amount of communication through the chassis. The steering is communicative. There's not a lot of body roll, and as a result, there isn't a lot of understeer. For how long of a wheelbase this is, it feels pretty agile through the corners. The limits on this G90 are definitely higher than most people are going to be pushing on the street. At speed, it's very quiet, very little wind or road noise. The brake pedal is firm. A lot of confidence from a driving perspective. This is a really well tuned car for its intended purpose, but it is a little bit sporty to drive and doesn't feel as big as you would think, behind the wheel at least. While we're sitting, let's do a sound test of this Lexicon sound system. Again, I just love how easy this infotainment is to use. Again, there's nothing here that's class leading, but you're getting a lot of bang for your luxury dollar. Really, the only thing I don't care for too much with this G90 is there's a little bit of a rattle on the tailgate that I can't quite seem to isolate, especially under hard cornering like we are right now. And I'd probably swing for the all-wheel drive. Sometimes this rear-wheel drive just struggles a little bit for traction. But I guess if you live in an area where there isn't a lot of snow or inclement weather, you don't really need any more than what this rear-wheel drive offers. So this Genesis also has the best highway driving assist that I think I've tested in any car. The lane centering is just perfect. The cruise control works really well. It's a fantastic system. It stays engaged for what seems like forever. Genesis did a fantastic job on making this work. In the real world, this is fantastic. I love it. There we go. It takes about a minute to prompt you. No automatic lane changes or anything too fancy. There isn't nearly as much technology in here as you would get with an S-Class or 7 Series. But as a result, less to go wrong, less to distract you. All of the important points, I think, here are covered with what you need in a luxury vehicle. All the materials, the design, the look of this interior is very nice. Some of these silver plastic buttons look a little bit cheap, but they have a nice tactility to them. The turn signal feels great to operate. Everything that you're using and interacting with on this is very nice. And of course, when you engage your turn signals, you get the little display in the center that shows you what your blind spots look like. See what the turning radius is like here. Pretty good for how long this thing is. This is a really relaxing vehicle to drive. There are no surprises here. There's nothing out of the ordinary that upsets you or upsets your level of comfort. The transmission is silky smooth. Throttle tip in from a stop is very, very predictable. The ride quality is fantastic. And again, this is just an evolution of the G90. These things have always been the case with every generation of this, even back to the Hyundai Equus. It's just that this new G90 updates its styling, gets its new design language, and it's a bold, but I think pretty good direction for Genesis to go in. There's that rattle. Otherwise, though, the NVH in here is pretty similar to the Germans. I think you might have a little bit more wind noise, but everything else, interior creaks and rattles, seem to be on par with everything else in the class. besides the thing in the trunk. It's pretty impressive what Genesis have done here. The 3.3 turbo is also a good engine option, though I've always preferred the V8 just because I think it fits the character of a luxury car just a little bit better. One thing I did notice this week is that the ambient lighting in this is pretty dim. I'm not even sure you'd be able to see it here, but if you want something that's ambient lighting that's a little bit brighter and more garish, I guess, this is not your car. But there are some options. You can change the color: purple, blue, green, white, teal. And of course, this also gets pretty respectable gas mileage too. 25 on the highway, 16 in the city for 19 mpg combined, which is exactly what we've been getting this week. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, this is about the same sentiment that I've had with the G90 all these years. There's really not a whole lot new here. The ergonomics are great. There's a fantastic center area to put your phone. It does everything quite well. Nothing quite class leading except for the value. And yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Such a cool side profile. Alright guys, well that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care.